Happy Slump Day, Tay. So,
Yeah.
right, we
Yeah.
are now
Today is
on the.
the last day of our Chuseok holiday.
So, what do you feel
Mm,
now that you're on the last day of the
yeah, a
long
little bit,
holiday?
yeah, depressed, but also I know I have lots of tests to do from tomorrow, so I'll be really busy. So I think I'd better to enjoy my last dinner on this holiday.
Because tomorrow it's time to go back to the real world, right?
Yeah,
It's time to go back to hell.
yeah. But
Uh,
I already in the morning I finished some mailing with my partners, urgent
mm-mm.
email. So actually, basically my work starts from today.
Mm, technically, yes,
Yeah.
but at least it's not the whole day as compared to normal working days, right?
Right, right.
Wherein you even have to extend the shift from time to time.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So, what activities then did you do today apart from, of course,
Yeah.
talking or having a meeting with your acquaintance? Mm.
Just before I went to shopping mall with my second son
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
buy new swimsuits for him.
Oh, swimsuit.
Right. She go to private swimming academy, swimming school.
Uh-uh. Ah, so she goes
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, she needs that.
Oh, yes. So swimming, was it her choice to join a swimming, let's say swimming class, or
Yes, right. Actually, she started
he? Mm-mm.
his swimming school um, since actually 2 years ago. So he's good at swimming.
Mm. Okay, yes. So it's
Yeah.
better to hone the skills, right,
Right.
from a young age.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyhow, yes. What topic did you prepare for us today, or what article did you
So,
prepare for us?
but today I'd like to discuss the number stereo.
Mm.
Okay, number 1802.
1802. Okay, so the
Yeah.
woman who vanished, kidnapped, mistaken identity, and a
Yeah.
50-year-old mystery. Is
Right.
this the one I don't know. It was not the article. Okay, so let's read. Go.
Yep. On 29 December 1969, a woman called Muriel McKay was adopted for her home in Wimbledon,
Mm-hmm. Wimbledon.
southwest London. She was never seen alive again, and her body was never found. Inside the house, the telephone had been ripped from the wall. The contents of her handbag were scattered about, and a roll of twine and a bill hook, a gardening tool with a thick blade, were found discarded. The disappearance
Mm-hmm.
became the first high-profile kidnap for ransom in the UK, a story that dominated news headlines in the days that followed. As it emerged, the criminals were demanding £1 million, what would be about 15 to 20 million pounds today, for a safe return. Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
McKay was a 55-year-old housewife, a churchgoer, a loving mother to her three grown-up children. She was married to Alice McKay, the deputy at News Limited to Rupert Murdoch,
Murdoch.
the
Yes, Murdoch.
murderer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Australian media tycoon who had made headlines relaunching the Sun newspaper just a month before. It was a case of mistaken identity. Murdoch's wife, Anna, was the intended target. Nevertheless, the kidnappers,
Nevertheless. Mm.
never, nevertheless, The kidnappers persisted making ransom calls, identifying themselves as M3, and writing letters to the family demanding the money. After police investigation led officers to a farm owned by Trinidad born author Hossein, she and his younger brother Nizamuddin were charged and later convicted of Mrs. McKay's kidnap and murder. Despite the fact that the police never found her body, more than 50 years later, it is a story that still has many unanswered questions, says documentary maker Joanna Bartholomew.
Yes,
It's a
Bartholomew.
story,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a story that has been slightly forgotten, but it was a huge case in its time. It's a very mysterious case. There are so many odd things about it. The kidnappers completely got wrong person. They weren't
Hmm.
professional. Rupert Murdoch was involved. Bartholomew has produced a new documentary, The
Hmm.
Wimbledon Kidnapping, about Mrs. McKay's disappearance in the
Disappearance.
program.
Hmm.
Disappearance in the program.
Hmm.
Others speak for the first time. As those Nizamuddin Hussain was deported back to the Caribbean following his release from prison after more than 20 years. Also, Hussein died in prison in 2009.
Hmm.
That's all.
Okay, yes. Mm. So this is some of the case. I mean, this is an example of a case about
Yeah.
mistaken identity, which is not um, so special as there
Right.
are other cases similar to this in the past. Okay, so but first, can you summarize or can you retell the story
Yeah.
using your own words?
Yeah. This article says the mysterious kidnap case. In this case, the housewife named Muriel McKay was adopted from her home in
Mhm.
Wimbledon, but consequently, there nobody finds her body or nobody knows she's alive or not at the moment.
Mhm.
And even the kidnappers agent were not clear if they are real kidnappers or not
No.
because there
Mhm.
are lots of unanswered questions and then lots of odd things around this
Mhm.
case.
Mhm. Mm. Okay. Yes. So it's still a mysterious case until now. Okay.
Right.
So now let's go to the questions first. So where was Muriel McKay abducted from? So where was she abducted
Yeah.
from?
The Mrs. Miriam McKay was adopted from her home in Wimbledon.
Okay, so in Wimbledon. Okay, next. How much money did the kidnappers demand?
The kidnappers were demanding £1 million, what would be about 15 to 20 million pounds today.
Yes. Wow. Or okay, 1 pound. How many dollars is 1 pound? I think in the Philippines 63 something.
Yeah,
Okay,
one
so
pound
next.
is
Mm,
about 1.5 dollars.
dollars. So times multiply that by one
Right.
million.
Yeah.
Whoa, they're gonna be millionaires.
Right.
Okay, so now let's go to the next question then. So what is the title of the documentary about Mrs. McKay's disappearance? Hmm.
The title of the documentary about Mrs. McKay's disappearance is The Wimbledon Kidnapping.
Kidnapping. Okay. So let's go to our questions then. So what do you think happened to Mrs. McKay, to the real Mrs. McKay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let our imaginations run wild. Okay. What do you think
So,
happened to her?
yeah, actually, as this um, article guess or implied, I think she was adopted, kidnapped, and then murdered, and then buried in the ground, or just yeah
Mhm.
discarded on in the sea, so nobody
Mhm.
could find her.
Who do you think is the main suspect?
Mm, as this article implied, I also I also suspicious on her. Uh, maybe um,
Mhm.
maybe her colleagues or her relatives.
Mhm. Relatives. Like who?
Mm,
Mhm.
so I think yeah the I think the Hussein and his brother Nijamuddin
Mhm.
are the criminals or kidnappers in this case.
Wow. For me, I suspect the husband.
Husband. Yeah.
I
So
mean, in cases like this, in
yeah,
cases like
similar.
this.
Similar cases in the movies or in the dramas. The usual
Mhm.
suspects are usually the victims. Yeah, husband.
Husband. Yes. Like on Netflix. Uh, have you watched the husband who killed his wife
Yeah.
and three daughters?
Mm.
You know, he acted as if he was like a victim. He acted as
Oh.
he was like he was looking for them. He even like called the wife, and it was, of course,
Mm.
uh it was let's say it was documented.
So yeah, I think I've never watched the movies, but actually
Oh.
similar thing happened in Korea as a
Oh,
real story.
so a similar case took place in your country.
Yes, yes, but not only one case, several cases.
Yes, several cases.
Right. So yeah, one of your family members, yeah, killed your other family member only for
Mm-mm.
money, and then
Mm-mm.
make them join the yeah insurance company or
Company,
new
yes.
insurance, right, to get
Mm-mm.
yeah lots of money.
So we think that this just happens in the movies, but it's true.
Yeah, actually in
Right?
Korea we have some similar criminal documentary TV show based on the it mm, introduce lots of cases based on the
Mm-mm.
yeah true story. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, several years ago, the married couple went to their honeymoon, and then the bride was disappeared.
Ah, so the bride disappeared.
Yes, right. But
Mm-mm.
nobody can find her, and she got several insurance uh, before she get married,
Right. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and then her husband, new married husband, could get millions of dollars.
Mm-mm. I think I've heard of that article years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, years ago. Okay. Oh, same. Uh, was it in Brazil? Yes, a Brazilian woman. She married a Japanese tycoon, business tycoon.
Mm,
Now, the husband wanted to sell his shares in the company because
uh,
I mean, he wanted to let go of his family's company. which has
Yeah.
been, until now, I think, I don't know the brand itself, but it's one of the major brands in Brazil. So what she did was she killed. She killed her
Uh,
husband, mutilated
yeah.
him, and then when she was interviewed, actually it's on Netflix.
Yep.
She even during the interview, she said like this: many people cannot or don't understand what I did because they don't know the truth. Oh,
Right.
wow.
Right.
Those are some lame excuses if you ask me. Just for the sake of money, you're going to kill someone.
Exactly.
So that's fine. Okay. So
Okay.
anyway, let's go to
So,
number two then. So what kinds of crimes are most common in your country, and what are the penalties of these crimes?
mm, so actually, we don't have death penalty anymore. Actually, we have
Mm.
death penalty, but
Penalty. It's
yeah,
still
these days
active. Uh-uh.
it's not it's not executed for
Okay.
more than 20 years.
Oh. Oh.
And in Korea, the most common crimes are yeah violence, physical violence,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and then for the physical violence, the sentence is the penalties are um, 2 to 3 years in jail.
So 2 to 3 years imprisonment.
Right.
Mm-mm. Wow. So physical violence and 2 to 3 years. So do you think that's enough?
It depends on the victim's condition.
So you mean
Sometimes
it depends on
they
the
did, yes,
severity?
victim, yes, right, until death, before death, right, nearly death.
Mm. Okay. Now, in Korea, what cases or what crimes are punished by death penalty?
Mm, actually, serial killers, well, if you try to rebel in your country, then you could get yeah death penalty.
So coup d'état or rebellion.
Yes, right. Yeah, for the yeah spy or communist, then they could get the yeah death penalty.
So you mean terrorism?
Right, correct.
Okay. Now, do you think murder and rape should be
Yeah.
punishable by or should be punishable by death penalty? Why or why not?
Yeah, I think the yeah serial killers or multiple murder case or murder rape and murder case, they should get executed as a yeah death penalty. And
So
lots
they
of people yeah insist that because
mm-hmm.
without the death penalty in Korea, usually with even though the criminals who killed several people, they don't get death penalty. Just
Mm-mm.
in the prison for 20 years, 30 years.
30 years.
So
Mm-mm.
yeah, many people complain on that. That's why our
Mm-mm.
crime crime rates are increasing.
Mm-mm. Oh, yes, you're right. So, do you think the next government or the next administration, next president will
Yeah.
think about or will think of, yes,
Yes, right.
executing death
Actually,
penalty?
yes, right. Actually, opposite parties candidates are announcing they will execute the yeah death penalty, the yeah, prisoners who got death penalty.
Penalty.
Yeah.
There should be. Okay. Me too. I would agree with that. Okay. So next then. So do you
Okay.
enjoy watching crime
Yeah.
documentaries? Mm-mm.
Oh yes,
Why?
right. That's my favorite genre for the movies and then dramas.
Mm. So what are some of the, let's say, most heinous, okay, crime documentaries you've ever watched?
Um, these days I've watched the O.J. Simpson's case. You
Okay.
know, yeah, famous, yeah, yeah, football player in America, and
In
he
America?
killed, yeah, she killed his ex-wife and then her boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
brutally. But
Brutally, yes.
yes, right. She just she had lots of money, so the jury says she's no guilty.
So the jury's sentence was not guilty.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I hate about jury. Yes.
Okay.
For me, I
So
have like some
yeah.
the DVDs or documentaries
Yeah.
about crimes, especially psychopaths.
Ah,
So
psychopath.
BTK, Ted Bundy. So the the most famous uh, criminals all over the
Right.
world. So
Ah.
I have them.
So do you
Yeah,
like that?
crazy me.
That kind of crime documentary or crime movies?
I do.
Mm.
I'm
Yes,
interested.
so that. Yeah, actually, yeah, I like that. I wonder if you watch the Dexter American
Oh
drama.
yes, American Series
Yeah,
Dexter.
that's one of my favorite drama.
Okay, but did you not find it brutal or gore or too bloody maybe?
Yeah, maybe actually only for the season one, I feel uncomfortable watch the drama, but
Oh,
after the season two or season three, yeah, the
you've
drama
gotten used to
itself
it.
was really impressive, and then also the main actor was
Uh,
very charming and attractive.
yes, you're right. Psychopaths, serial killers are actually charming. They can charm their way in.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, have you watched You? Many Koreans actually
Yes, right. I
love
think so.
You. Mm. Uh, it has, or there's like a twist in the story, so give it a go. Okay,
Mm.
anyway, yeah, so do you have any questions with our crime documentaries before going to the next topic?
Mm, I'm okay with the all the questions and the article.
Okay, so you're okay with it now, so let's go to the next. So what's the next topic?
So for the next topic, mm, okay, for the next topic, it will be number, wait, comparing, okay, the number, oh, will be this, okay, this one. The number 1795
1795 study. Eating a hot
study.
dog could
Yeah,
take 36 minutes of your life. I love hot
yeah,
dogs. Who
yeah,
doesn't?
so do I.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they're making us want to stop eating hot dogs. Okay, so let's read first. Hmm.
okay. You may want to skip the toppings on your next hot dog or give up hot dog entirely. Health researchers at the University of Michigan have found that eating a single hot dog could take 36 minutes of your life. In their study, published this month in the journal Nature Food, researchers looked at 5,853 foods in the U.S. diet and measured their effect in minutes of healthy life gained or lost. We wanted to make a health-based evaluation of the beneficial and de- detrimental,
Detrimental.
detrimental,
Detrimental.
okay, detrimental impact of the food in the entire diet. Oliver Juliet, professor of environmental health sciences at the university and senior author of the paper, told CNN the team came up with an index that calculates the net beneficial or detri- detrimental health burden in miniature of healthy life associated with a serving of food. It's based on a study called the Global Burden of Disease, which measures mod- morbidity associated with processed food choices. For example, 0.45 minutes are lost per gram of processed meat, processed meat, or
Processed meat.
0.10 minutes are gained per gram of fruit.
Hmm.
We then look at the composition of each fruit and then multiply this number by the corresponding food profiles that we previously developed. Juliet said one of the food researchers measured was a standard beef hot dog on a bun. On a bun, each 61 grams of processed meat resulted in the loss of 27 minutes of healthy life. Julia said, but when ingredients like sodium and trans fatty acids were factored in, the final value was 36 minutes loss. Consumption of foods such as nuts, legume, legumes,
Legumes.
seafood,
Legumes.
legumes, yeah,
Hmm.
seafood, fruits, and non-starchy vegetables, on the other hand, has a positive effect on health, the study found. The point is to choose better food, not to spread time doing the math. He said, it
Hmm.
is a useful metric that can help you make more informed choices and makes it simpler to identify and make adequate small changes in your diet.
Okay,
It's all. Yeah.
that's all right. It's all about hot dogs. Okay,
Yes, right.
so what did the article say? Okay, so
So
what's the article all about?
actually, simply this article says lots of people like hot dog, but it says there are several um, things, ingredients that's not good for your health.
Health. Mm-mm.
Yes, and then actually the hot dog can take 36 minutes off from your life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you eat healthy food such as nuts, legumes, seafood, fruits, and non-starchy vegetables, then that will help for your health.
So that
That's
will
all.
help.
Yeah,
That's all. Yes. Right? It's not about exactly 30 minutes. It's about finding healthier
right.
alternatives to the foods we eat. Okay. So now let's go to our questions. The first question is, how many minutes are taken off your life when you eat a single hot dog? Ooh.
So, yeah, when you eat a single hot dog,
Hmm.
could take 36 minutes of your life.
Okay, one's life. So next, what is the aim of the study? So what's their goal?
Their goal
Mm-mm.
to they wanted to make a health-based evaluation of the beneficial and detrimental impact of the food in the entire diet.
Yes, of processed foods in the entire
Yeah.
diet. Okay, now what are examples of food that have positive effects on health? Mm.
The actually consumption of foods such as nuts, legumes, seafood, fruits,
Legumes.
and
Hmm.
legumes, and non-starchy vegetables, on the other hand, has a positive effect on health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So now let's go to our discussion then. So,
Yeah.
what healthy eating habits do you have? Or do you think you have healthy eating habits? Why or why not?
So I like I like bread and meat. So that is not very good if I eat lots of bread and meat. But I
Mm-mm.
try not to eat too much. And then
Okay.
I try to eat salad in the morning for my
Oh.
breakfast.
Uh-uh.
And I also try to eat lots of vegetables and then fruits with my when I eat meat.
Meat.
So I
Mm-mm.
think that's the healthy eating habit that I have.
Oh, wow. So you lead a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But if you say a typical Korean breakfast, isn't it healthy?
Uh, I think typical Korean breakfast is a really healthy diet because we eat rice and vegetables such as kimchi and
Mm-mm.
fried eggs and some soup. That's our
Mm-hmm.
yeah traditional breakfast.
Okay, yes. So in short, it's healthy. Okay, so next then, how often do you eat processed foods and what kinds of processed foods are commonly
Mhm.
available or seen or are sold
Yeah.
in grocery stores in your country?
So actually, I try not to eat processed food as much as I avoid. But yeah,
Ah,
sometimes I have to eat hamburger.
mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah,
Hamburger?
hamburger. Yeah, during
Okay.
the for my lunch because sometimes um I'm very busy at work, so I couldn't make
Mm-mm-mm.
enough time for lunch. Yeah, with
Mm-mm.
traditional Korean food. So in that
Mm-hmm.
case, I simply grab some yeah hamburgers.
Okay, so hamburger.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Now, as we know, kids these days, they love, of course, processed foods or fast foods. So,
yeah.
who is to blame? Should we blame the parents for allowing them to eat these kinds of foods, or should we blame the media for
So
advertising these types
I
of
think
foods?
yeah we should blame the processed food makers, the companies first, because
Okay, so the fast food
they
chains.
yes
Mm-mm.
right they actually they don't care how harmful the processed food such as ham or hamburger or sausages
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
processed sausages that kinds lots of harmful chemical ingredients in it but
Mm-hmm.
they put lots of things to enhance the flavor or taste and they
Mm-mm.
make it
Yes.
some of them also use some uh, preserver to
Preservatives.
preservatives
Preservatives.
to extend its yeah its term.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or shelf life or life.
yeah, yes, that's right, right.
Mm-mm.
And also,
Okay.
I think
Uh-uh.
government should yeah should get blamed if because if the government make a strict rule or strict policy on that kind of food, then
Mm-hmm.
the companies couldn't make that kind of yeah, harmful food.
So that's what you think. So the government also plays an important role in stopping or limiting.
That's right. But
Yes.
in the other hand, that's the easy way to make the cheap, I mean affordable food and then delicious.
Foods. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some poor have to eat.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Even
Because that's
though
the
they
only
know.
yes,
Right.
that's within the budget. That's the only thing they can
Right.
buy with their budget.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they also know which one is good for their health or not, but yeah, their limited budget, they have to choose. They don't have alternatives.
Yes. Instead, they only have to choose the cheapest ones,
Right.
cheapest foods. Okay, yes. So now, would you change your food choices to be healthier? So if so, what foods will you give up? If not, why not? Yeah. So you said you try to avoid.
Yes.
Okay,
Processed
you try
food.
to avoid
Yes.
processed foods as much as possible.
Yes.
Apart from processed foods, what other unhealthy foods do you stay away from? Yeah, do you avoid?
I'll stay away from bread with lots of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
sugary
should
bread.
avoid that. But actually, I like that kind of cream pie or yeah, cream stuffed
Choco
bread.
pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the never-ending choco
Ah,
pie.
and also
Yeah.
one thing, you should
Mm-mm.
avoid roasted roasted food
Oh,
that
yes, or
contain lots of
roasted.
yeah harmful chemical that cause cancer.
Yeah, we call them carcinogens. So
Yes,
grilled
right.
or roasted foods
Yeah,
contain carcinogens, which can
right,
cause cancer.
right,
Mm.
right,
So do you also avoid, let's say, barbecue or grilled foods?
right. I try not to eat that kind of food. Yeah.
Ah, wow. So do you see yourself as a healthy buff?
Yeah. At the moment, yeah, I think so.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay then. So how about your kids or your wife? Do they agree with your point of view or?
Yeah. Actually, basically, they agree, but they sometimes they eat noodles and then also they eat sausage and then also yeah canned yeah food. But I can have them. I can refrain.
Uh-uh. Okay, you can refrain then. It's not actually bad to have cheat days as long as we
Yeah.
just eat within moderation,
Right.
right? Yes. Oh, for me, I do eat hot dogs. I
Mm.
do eat. I mean, I cannot give up. I can't give up hot dogs.
Yeah. I
Sausage. My God.
understand. Yeah.
Right? At least in your case, you can stop yourself. For
Yeah.
me, oh well, I haven't eaten hot dog for almost 2 weeks, so it's a record.
Mm.
But normally I do
Ah.
eat 3 times a week, or 4 times a
Ah.
week even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm killing myself, so I mean,
Yes.
uh,
Well,
slowly.
yeah, I understand.
Okay, so anyhow, again,
Yeah.
we had a very engaging topics, and you're quite knowledgeable about today's topics. So
Yes.
read more. Yeah, go
Okay.
to Netflix. So thank you so much, and
Okay.
talk to you
Bye
again
bye.
next time. Say bye.